Scano Seguego, Kia ora e Tefano. I'm here on top of Moao, or Mount Maganui. Quick scan. And today I'm here with Ellis, and he's going to tell us who he is and his connection to the land through his pipiha.
E kau ki te tai, e kau ki te tai, e kau rā e tāne. Wai atu rā te ngaru hoko hoko o marere au. Piki atu te aorere koro o tāo tāo rangi. Tapa tapa ruru ana te kakao o te hoi. E tara tūtū ana e te puhi o marae kore te puhi wharekora o taku waka. Ka titiro au ki tapai o te ki tapai o waho. Piki atu rangi ana te kakao o te hoi. Kumi e te uru o taku waka. Ki runga ki te kirikiri wai wai o papatu anuku e takoto mai nei. Ki runga ki te uru tapunui o tāne tū mai nei. Whati whatiru ana te hoi nā paupoto. Tau ake ki te hoi nā kura. Tō manawa i kura ki taku manawa. Kairihia ki te wai o nuku. Kairihia ki te wai o rangi. Ka whiti au ki te whei au ki te ao marama. Tupu kere kere, tupu wana wana. Hara mai te toki, hong e, hui e, tā e ki e. What I just shared with you then was they call a whakaara. In that, I shared with you an analogy which associates ourselves to the natural world, and it's a story of my ancestor when he discovered the harbour where I'm from, up north from here. As he arrived from his long distant homeland where he had travelled to his new homeland here in Aotearoa. You use it at a time before you speak, and you can use it as a time when you have friends and other guests gathered around you. So it kind of clears the way to set to go forward if you want to carry on with your pipiha.
Okay, I met Ellis. I took part in his course. His job is he goes around and he teaches the non-Māori people the Māori way. So I'll have him expand on that a little bit.
Yep, kia ora whānau. Yeah, I do that. Like, I mean, we're a bicultural / multicultural nation in terms of there's a lot of people here, but primarily we're Māori were the first people to come here, and then we were colonised, if you like, by what we call the Pākehā, or they were from European descents, mainly British and Americans and French. And so our interaction of a nation was the joining of those two people. We signed a treaty in 1840, which kind of designated the laws that run our society. People call it the birth of our biculturalism, or the birth of our nation. And so our society has evolved since then to kind of be what it is now, and non-Māori or New Zealanders, all of us in general, are claiming those things Māori as being part of our identity as New Zealanders. And what I kind of realised was that even though Pākehā were claiming these Māori concepts, they didn't necessarily have a great level of understanding. So what I do is I run public workshops. I also work with businesses that want to engage with Māori in business. So Māori in business have a lot of natural assets, treaty settlements. They have some of them have lots of dollars in the bank. So they're looking to engage in business with partners where they can leverage and grow those assets or that base. So I help Pākehā businesses to move to engage with Māori in a way that's quite empowering for them, and Māori feel valued and respected on the other side of it.
Nō reira, ko whiria te maunga, ko te huna ki te poki, ko hoki anga haka paukara kia te awa, ko ngā tuki mata pauro o te waka, ko ngā puiti iwi, ko ngā te whārara, te hapu, ko te whakaronga tai, me te marae ro ngā marae o te motu. Nō reira, e mihi atu ki a koutou, e te tūranga waiwai, e mihi atu ki, ko tahi ki reira ki Aratiri, ko tahi ki reira ki Newa. So Whiria is my mountain, Te Hunaki is my hill, Hokianga Hakapau Karakia, the place, the Hokianga, the sea of many incantations, is my sea. The canoe my ancestors arrived on was Ngā Tuku Mata Whaurua. The tribe of my people whom I descend is Ngāpuhi. The sub-tribe is Ngāti Whārara. The three marae in our takiwa, our area, our district. A te kaiwa, te whakarongotai, me te marae roa. I point that way because from where I stand, that is direct line to the Hokianga. From where I'm standing here, it's about a 6-hour drive, something like probably 500 kilometers away. But that states who I am and where I'm from.
And it blew my mind because that there's actually a need for his job, that there's big enough population out there that the Pākehās not only want to, but they need to learn the ways of the Māori in order to have a successful business and, you know, to flourish.
Where we are now, there's two things. One is that New Zealand being an island, so our people here, our boundaries are very clear, and what I've identified in my work, I'm also a marriage celebrant. I can marry people off, and my point of difference is I can do Māori things within that ceremony. And what I kind of realised was that non-Māori were really wanting to claim have Māori stuff in our ceremony, and it certainly hasn't always been their way.
Nā, te mea tēnei te whare tapu o Aotearoa. Ko Ranganui te Tuanui, ko Papatua Nuku te Paparahi. Ko ngā maunga, ngā pau, e hāpai te Tuanui. Kei Wainganui I o tātou katoa, ko te mea te ao orongo. Nō reira, I te wā ka noho ki te toko wairua te mea. In Māoridom, the one difference between our culture and the Western world is the philosophy that when we pass this physical world or when we die, our ancestors are still with us. We can't see them, but in a very real way they kind of are always around us. It's an incredibly comforting feeling to have, to know that, but there also comes responsibility in the way we have to live our lives. So, to acknowledge that, I acknowledge that in this sacred space, the sacred church of the natural world, if you want to call it that, Ranganui, the Sky Father, is the roof. Papatuanuku, the Earth Mother, is the earth. The mountains that surround us are the poes that hold that roof aloft. Everything in between that we can see in Te Ao Marama or this natural world is a space that we can celebrate our spirituality and be who we truly are.
He also mentioned that how Māoris are becoming a part of the New Zealand identity, the cultural identity of New Zealand, when Canada, very similar situation, you know, the Native Americans are not a part of the cultural identity. Could you expand on that a little bit?
Yeah, of course. It's you know, I've done a bit of tourism work over the years, and the one thing I realised was how the rest of the world sees New Zealand, and what they associate with New Zealand is two things really. One is the clean, green, pristine nature that we have, and the other thing is that essence of Māoridom. They realise they associate New Zealand with the Māori culture, and we often hear about, compared to the rest of the world and some of the indigenous cultures, just how alive and vibrant it is. So again, like I said, it's been really great in our evolution of a nation that we've got to a point now where it wasn't that long ago where it was kind of like Māori had their stuff, but if I haven't got Māori blood in me, I can't claim that. So being kind of, as a New Zealander, we're claiming it, but they're really wanting to know how to claim it in a respectful and valued way, because it's not just acknowledging Māori in terms of the people as Māori, but it's acknowledging themselves in terms of being a New Zealander.
Nō reira, e mihi atu ki a koutou, ko te waiata tēnei. In Aotearoa, when you stand to speak and do your pepeha, it is always appropriate that you finish with a pāo or a chant or a waiata that speaks of who you are and where you're from. I'd like to share this one with you. Whakarongo mai, Ki te reo e tangi nei, I ringi ea mai ana, mai a ko ka mo, ngaro e matai. Peti mai te ra, ngaro ana te mamai, ngaro noa te pouri, kaua e mauriri, anei anu he rā. And just one thing I'll mention too, when I was talking with Artie earlier about, I know over in your system you've got a card that identifies you as being a Native American. Well, we don't have anything like that here. But what we do, so I was saying to Artie, being Māori in a lot of ways isn't so much a state of the physical, but more of a state of the mental. And what I mean by that, it's not how much Māori blood you have in you, it is your state of the heart that you feel. So in other words, if you wanting to embrace that the Māoridom, then you kind of got to take the time to learn to speak te reo, to learn our songs, our history, and you've also got to, I guess, walk the talk. Like I said earlier, you know, when you walk in that world in terms of our Māoridom, our ancestors are with us, and that's really empowering in that you're never alone, but there's a responsibility about how you live your life. And you know, what I'm getting at is you've got to kind of live a life where you respect and value other people, because that's at the essence of what Māoridom is all about.
Perfect. All right. Good, Ellis.
So it is.
Appreciate it.
Ah, you're welcome.
All right.
I ngā koranga morongo mai, morongo mai, morongo mai, morongo mai. Reira, kua mutu te kōrero o te ahi nei. Tēnā koutou e, tēnā koutou. Kia ora mātātou.